Hello everyone, this is Not My Pizza with some Langrisser Mobile, and I'm going to be covering my first few matches in the Season 13 Apex Arena. So yeah, as you can kind of see, I got 3 wins and 2 losses, which is pretty standard for most high-level players at the beginning, because you basically don't go up to Gold 2 unless I think you get 5 wins in a row, and that's incredibly hard, and just getting 3 wins is just a lot quicker, and then forfeiting the second 2 matches. But I actually got pretty unlucky over the weekend, because I actually had to fight quite a few high level players. Yeah, like I had to play against SEL and Q, which yeah, both matches pretty tough. But yeah, I also played against Mr. Take It Easy. But yeah. And yeah, I'm actually pretty embarrassed by this match against Cramp, because I messed up so badly. Anyways, let's get into the pig ban stuff. So, Neo Zerda gets banned, and I think Neo Zerda gets banned over there, which is pretty standard, because my box doesn't really deal with Neo Zerda too well, even though I actually have a couple more like healers and tanks and stuff than normal. I just want to kind of point out that I'm running 2 tanks, as in Landius and Neo Elma, and I'm running 3 healers, which is Elma, Rosenseal, and Sissy White, because I just wanted to test a few things out, and I'm not liking it a ton, but it's working out okay, I suppose. Also, I threw in Neo Virash as well, because why not? Well, I was also running Landius, so yeah. And so I pretty much get rid of his tanks as well, and I pick up my McLean so I can have some more terrain coverage, but I think here he's going to pick up his own McLean, yeah. So it's a mirror match pretty much at the moment. So I ban out his speed boosters, because these 2 guys can be pretty annoying if they have extra mobility, and then I pick up Sissy White so I can tank and act again and do other silly stuff. Anyways, I'm pretty much forced to pick up a DPS here. I think I pick up Epsilon, maybe? Or is it Lucretia? I don't remember. Oh, I pick up Iron Blood, which is fine. And then he bans out my rest of my DPS, so I'm stuck with 2 healers, which fine. And then he's... Okay, so I ban out pretty much anything that has very, very long movement and can be fairly annoying. And I kind of should have just left SP Matthew, because if he left me 2 healers at the end, then I could just deal with his shenanigans fairly easily. And then pretty much left his some extra assassins and stuff, because I didn't really care. And then he's going to pick up Epsilon here, since this team is fairly self-sustaining, and I don't really have any CC, well, debuffs, or yeah, I don't really have any debuffs, so Rosenseal's kind of useless. So here I'm pretty much just giving my team some extra speed boosts. He's moving his he's moving his Gin back so he can wait to get a power up and whatnot, which is fine, because he pretty much has 5 DPS units and I pretty much only have 3, which is kind of unfortunate in the long run. But yeah, I'm playing fairly aggressively. Like, I'm being very aggressive with my Gin, and this diehard can easily one-shot Gin at this point. So yeah, I'm being fairly aggressive. He moves up the diehard there. So here he uses Riptide component for some reason. And I don't really agree with the use of that. So, oh yeah, he's pretty much just trying to get in a free kill. And I'm like, I don't really care, because I don't think... oh, I do kind of care. So here I'm just going to take out McLean's first life and basically nerf his DPS. And then he's going to use McLean to fart down his water, which I actually don't mind, because I still have my Terrifying Wave. So here I'm pretty much setting my Gin up to actually go in, because I still have a speed boost and I can get rid of this water and I can reach, I think, McLean here. So here, he sends in Diehard and pretty much takes out my McLean's first life, which I don't really care about because McLean has 2 lives. And I heal a good amount of heal a good amount. He takes a little bit of damage, but it's not really effective. So here I move McLean out of the way because I believe Lucretia got no. He didn't get a breeze, but McLean was still in range of Lucretia if she used her puppet to swap spaces. And here I act again because I can, and I was planning to use the double act again this turn to essentially get a 2-for-1 trade. Well, a 2-for-0 trade. But here I completely flubbed that strategy because I misclick and I accidentally wait my Sissy White instead of acting again my McLean. Because what I would have done with McLean is I would have just pretty much just moved him up, got rid of the enemy water, and then killed off the Diehard with my Iron Blood, and then I could have just run up and taken out his Gin. Yeah, but because I didn't do that, I pretty much messed up. So yeah, then Diehard gets Magic Pulsed, and yeah, nothing really happens this turn. So yeah, because I kind of messed that up, I'm kind of like, I can't really do anything else. Yeah, my McLean is pretty much dead at this point since I don't really have any things to do, and then he's just going to teleport in Lucretia, Magic Pulse McLean, and then take out my McLean. And he didn't really count his steps super well with Lucretia because now the Lucretia doesn't have her revive. So I'm kind of just like, what do I do at this point since I lost one of my DPS units for nothing? But I'm just gonna kind of speed through this because this match was pretty much over last turn because I messed up big time. So I'm gonna fart out Soldier there to block off his Gin from attacking me, but I realized I probably should have just moved my Iron Blood commander up like here and then killed off Lucretia, because that would have given me turn priority. Yeah, so Lucretia is gonna die here. I wasn't paying attention to like if she was in range of puppet, so Gin acts again, and I lose turn priority, which is bad, to say the least. But I don't think I could have won this even with turn priority, because his Gin would have just dunked my ass. So yeah, I send in Iron Blood, she doesn't really do anything, and then my Gin dies, and I pretty much lost at this point. So yeah, not a very good showing for my first match back, but I'll just chalk that up to being rusty. So next is against Mr. Take It Easy, and he is running Pure Rush, which I personally find is annoying, because if you're P2, then you just have to deal with all its bullshit, and yeah, so I basically like, have to deal with this BS. And I think I pick up Neo Elma here, because I was assuming this is a single target Wedum, but it's not. So here he bans out my Neo Elma and my McLean, because McLean would just shut down his strategy completely, and yeah, that just leaves me with Sissy White. He's going to pick up Matthew, because Matthew can jump on me from the start, which is annoying, because he has Mechanical Knights, which allows him to ignore terrain penalties from these forts over here. So yeah, then I pick up Sissy White because she's my only remaining healer. And then, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think in situations like this, I should probably just pick up McLean first and then just ban out Wedum or something. Or ban out Poliel. Because essentially Poliel's whole thing is she's a 3C bot. She just throws her 3C onto the terrain and then has her team follow up, which, whatever. Anyways, I just keep banning out stuff that can hit me turn 1. And then I pick up Neo Virash, which this is actually a decent decent map for him, and he's good, kind of good against this type of team because he has a revive, and he has inbuilt healing, which is also very good. So he picks up Light of Genesis because basically the rest of his team can't hit me turn 1, which, yeah. So then I ban out more of his annoying movement mages, and then I pick up Diehard, who has some healing and has good threat range. So yeah, I'm pretty much left with Landius and Lucretia. Also, he's left with Ironblood, who will pretty much do nothing in this situation because Matthew doesn't really need the speed boost, and same with Light of Genesis, and these two can't receive the speed boost from Ironblood. And then I pick up Lucretia here because she has innate healing and she can do some supporty stuff. Yep, so he throws in Matthew turn 1, which is moderately annoying. Boom. And then does a good amount of damage, and then returns to the paths. And then I just heal up most of that damage. And I get rid of all the debuffs. So now he's forced to send in Wedum. And I just realized here that probably would have been smart to have my Neo Virash like here instead, because he stopped here, so he would have only gotten 1, 2, 2. Okay, never mind. He could have hit my entire team with whatever that is. So yeah, it's my team with the anti-guard and the heal debuff, but I don't really care. And then I send in Neo Virash because I can just heal him up and get rid of the anti-heal on him, and then I can basically heal everything back from the killing Matthew, and then take it easy, pretty much teleports in the juggler, so I use a bit more coverage on who he can hit, but I don't really care at this point. So yeah, pretty much almost kill off the Wedum, but I put him in a situation where I can pretty much stun him and kill him off next turn. So yeah, now he's just heavy strike formationing with the Ironblood, which honestly won't do much at this point. And then I kill off Wedum. Hooray. So he jumps in, pretty much hits my Neo, Elma, and my Virash, who honestly that does really nothing because my Virash is aquatic and my Elma's a tank. So yeah, he uses Master of Ice here, and kills off my Diehard, but I don't really care at this point because Diehard pretty much uses 3C and was useless after that. So here I'm just pretty much waiting for him to come in and do nothing to me, essentially. And here I'm just gonna go in and one-shot his juggler, because I'm just gonna act again, get back to full health with Sissy White's 3C, and then one-shot the juggler. So yeah, it's 4v2, and there's no way Mr. Take It Easy can break through my tank, my Neo Elma. So yeah, that's one easy game down the pipe. And then my next match is against Q, which is actually quite interesting because, well, it's just, you'll see. It's very funny. But it's also interesting that I keep getting matched against like very strong players, which is honestly kind of annoying. Because I just wanted to get out of placement and get my rewards, because I typically don't climb till a little bit later in the season, and I'm usually just busy. So my time is very limited, and I gotta use it efficiently. In any case, Neo Zerda gets banned on Q side. He also, he bans out my Risen Seal, which, whatever. So he picks up Gin, and then I pick up Neo Zerda for once. Then I ban out his Poyao because I feel like he might try to rush me, and because I didn't pick up McLean first. And then I ban out Wedum because I don't really want to run a tank. So he bans out my Wedum and my Gin, and he picks up Neo Matthew, this is getting pretty interesting because, yeah, this is kind of interesting. In any case, I ban out his McLean and his Neo Elma, so I can pick up McLean, oh, I can have a bit more map control and I don't need to worry about tanks being annoying. Anyways, actually I probably shouldn't have, I should have just left Neo Elma at this point, because yeah, I probably should have left Neo Elma and gotten rid of something else, like his Sissy White or something. Yeah. Anyways, he picks up this dude. I keep forgetting his name. Lost him, yeah. And then I ban out the movement support and Diehard because Diehard has a lot of range and he's also protagonist. And then I pick up Elma here because she kind of works against the Matthew and kind of also lost him. You'll see. And so he bans out my tanks, which fine. And then he picks up his Lucretia, which it's honestly fine because my McClane, fine for me because McClane kind of already controls the map for me. So I ban out his Light of Genesis for the teleport and Epsilon because I'm kind of not really doing. Well, actually, I could have just left Epsilon to be honest because I already have a good amount of AoE. Yeah, whatever. And then I pick up Neo Virash here because he has a revive, can do good amount of damage, and is kind of annoying in general. So I lose my Lost Him and Diehard here, which is fine, and then I pick up Epsilon, which is pretty. I think Epsilon here as a last pick is pretty good. Anyways, just kind of wanted you to know that I picked up the water balloons as my troops for both Neo Virash and McClane because these guys are physically very tanky, but not very tanky magically. So yeah. So here Q kind of expects to go wild with the Lost Him since I don't have a tank. And he can kind of ignore my, whatchamacallit, my McClane's my McClane's stuff. Well, McClane's water if he can get onto the right area. Which, yeah, it is kind of an issue, but here I'm just kind of positioning my Epsilon and my Neo Zerda in the back because I can. And here I lowered the stream to essentially prevent the Matthew from running over here, striking, and then jumping on my team turn 1, which honestly is kind of a bad idea. So here he's setting up for... Yeah, he's setting up for another one, and here he actually breezes, which is kind of annoying because it allows him to hit my entire team, but I don't really care at this point because I can just body block him with that, and then Q decides to just get rid of it, and I'm like, I don't really care because this thing is honestly doing nothing else. So yeah, he kills off the... Yeah, he kills off the minion, which, whatever. And then he grapnels back, and now he's kind of stuck back there for another turn, and that allows my Neo Virash to run in. So he throws him back even further back, and this pretty much allows my Virash to go in, pull Matthew, and then one-shot him. Yep. So, very easy kill for Virash right there. And that gives my Neo Zerda a lot more maneuverability over here. And then he goes in, takes off Virash's first life, which, whatever. And he gets slapped with a bunch of debuffs. And then here, I just light recall my Neo Virash because I can. And now he has to deal with Neo Virash coming back and being a pain in the butt. But also, he can't really move past this soul shard without getting in a lot of trouble. But here, I think, yeah, here, I was worried that he was gonna run in and kill my Neo Virash, which honestly I probably shouldn't have given a snot about because Neo Virash has kind of already done his job, and yeah. Oh, I was also worried about the Lucretia coming in and just sniping him with teleport from the doll and then hitting him, because I would have to deal with like 2 of that. So I wanted to get rid of that option. And I couldn't have teleported it in quite yet because my McLean was just way too far back. And yeah, I would have had no follow-up. So here he grapnels in and tries to actually take out my Neo Virash, but my Virash still had the Light Reflect and Q stuns himself, which is incredibly funny to me. So yeah, that's also one really tanky. I lost him. Wow. Anyways, that's pretty much just free food for me, and lost him dies like super easily. Which honestly I think is kind of a mistake, because I didn't actually need to kill him there, because that lost him was pretty much stuck back there. I could have just had Neo Elma just use a 3C because I could, and then wait to kill him off later. So here, Lucretia pretty much takes out my McLean's first life, which I later realized was I probably should have just had my McLean further back, so he doesn't take damage like that. Because I only have so many lives with my characters, and I need to use them a little bit more effectively. Anyways, Sissy White throws down some more stuff, and then I just play little footsies with my Neo Virash, and then he knocks back my Epsilon, so he can't come in and do more damage, and then that gives me the opportunity to edge drop slash on him and do a good amount of damage, but also debuff him. So yeah, there's that. Then so my Neo Zerda gets one shot here, which yeah, not too surprising. And here I make a pretty big mistake because I didn't realize that the Royal Vanguard's guard was down, so that pretty much could have given me a free kill on Sissy White, which I completely bungled because I just used an auto attack instead of Zerda's 3C. So that allows Q to inspire and remove the Act Again debuff on Gin, which kind of costs me the match. And here I just take out Lucretia's first life because there's nothing really else I can do at this point. And then I think, oh yeah, my Neo Zerda doesn't lose another life. Oh, never mind. She loses her life there. And here I'm like, I need to have Epsilon carry my butt, which, yeah, no. And here I pretty much just take out the Arcane Golem because I can. And then I trigger the Gin again, and here I realize that I pretty much effed up, because at this point I would have needed to kill, yeah, actually I probably would have been able to kill the Gin here, because he honestly isn't that tanky, so I don't know, that would have been risky. So there I actually go in and kill off the Lucretia, which honestly kind of a bad idea because I don't have like anything else to do. Well, I have no real response to this because I have no more revives, and my Neo Zerda can't really do anything against Gin in this state. So yeah, pretty much at this point I can't do much. Gin acts again, kills off my Epsilon, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh frick, I'm done. And yeah, here I'm pretty much done. So yeah, there I probably should have tried to one-shot the Gin, because even though he was still debuffed, he still had about 2k attack. Anyways, so I lost that. And then Styx, I think, is another Rush player who gets first player and is... Oh no, he's an yeah. Oh yeah, he is a Rush player, but he's an AoE guy with more AoE. He has more of an AoE focus because he has like Zion and Julian here and what's her name? Caroline. Anyways, I kind of think this box is not very great. So here he does the annoying thing where he bans out my Rosen Seal, but that's pretty much the best ban he had at this point. So I get rid of his Wedum and his Gin, so I don't need to deal with that silly nonsense, and then I pick up Neo Zerda. And then he gets rid of my Wedum and Elma, so I can't get around that. I ban out his units that would be very annoying, like what's his name? Kruger would just be annoying in this situation because I'm second player. And here he lets me get McLean, which is a humongous mistake on his part. So yeah, he bans out my last healer, but I don't need him because they aren't going to be an issue. I ban out Caroline and Ares because Caroline has that 3C that can alter terrain, and then Ares just has long range. I pick up Gin here because I know he's pretty much going to carry me here. Bans out Neo Virash and Diehard, and then he picks up Ironblood, who's pretty much not going to do much here. And then ban out Vincent and Michelle because Michelle can benefit from Luna, and then Vincent's just annoying. And then I pick up Lucretia here, and then they ban out that, and then picks up Zion, and oh yeah, I pick Neo Elma here because I just wanted to deal with him, even though I probably should have just picked up Epsilon. Whatever, doesn't really matter in the long run. So yeah, he starts rushing in, he sets up Ironblood formation to give his team like a bunch of movement, but I don't really care because this guy's gonna just completely shut him down. Also, I picked Wizards on Lucretia because if I was dealing with AoE units, then Wizards would be slightly more useful since they don't need to be at 100% HP to get more attack when they're attacking. So yeah, send in McLean, fart out Terrifying Wave, so I can, fart out Terrifying Wave. So let's just compare. So here, yeah, his entire team basically has no range because my McLean is just blocking him with water. So he has to send in Luna here, and then attacks my McLean, pretty much does nothing, and debuffs him, and I'm like, whatever. So here, he gives me 2 stacks for Gin, and then due to Zera's Lightning Slash, I can actually just teleport on McLean and insta-gib the Luna. So he does not get that speed boost anymore. But it doesn't really matter, because Julian gets a bit of a speed boost, and he's just going to go in, or Juggler's going to go in and just do a bunch of damage, which, whatever. And then I'm just kind of just standing back to see what he's going to do at this point, because now he can only really attack 1 or 2 units on my team, and I just don't care enough to really give him the opportunity to mess me up. So yeah, here I'm just positioning slightly to take down that Juggler, and then he uses Zion to hit my 2 units, which really doesn't do much. Here I just apply some damage to the Julian and essentially set him up to get taken down by me next turn. Also, he uses Master of Ice here, which doesn't really matter to me. And then I am just kind of burning turns at this point because I don't really I want to see what he does. So yeah, I'm kind of just playing this by ear and just waiting for one of my units to die. So yeah, I'm just waiting for one of my units to die so Gin can get rid of the water and then go in and kill something. Also, he kills off my Zerda, which I don't really care about, and I also managed to steal his speed boost from his Ironblood, so Ironblood pretty much can't do anything here anymore. So yeah, here I'm just kind of waiting to see what Zion is doing. And then he hits my McLean again, which really isn't doing much. So here I thought I could pretty much one-shot the Juggler, but the whatever disadvantage is a little too high, and yeah. So now I'm just waiting for either my Lucretia to come in and just carry me, or my Gin. So he starts hitting me and stuff, and it doesn't really do much. Yeah, so take a bit more damage, but I don't really mind. And so I just slap the juggler again so I can get a little healing in, but fortunately my team... Yeah, that was kind of a bad idea. Honestly, what I should have done, instead of moving in my Light of Genesis, I should have just acted again, healed up with Gin, and then insta-gib the Julian. But instead I do that. But, whatever. Julian doesn't really do much. And yeah, I'm honestly kind of playing... I am actually playing really bad this session. So yeah. So here I just kill off Juggler, because I can. And take a bit of damage, but it's not really significant enough for me to care. So yeah, she goes in and pretty much bounces off my Lightbringer. So I Totsugeki him, and then I think here I'm gonna try to take out the Julian, since I don't remember if his assassin skill is up yet. Actually, it isn't. I should have just killed off the Zion here since he actually had an attack. So yeah, me just kind of playing bad in general. So yeah, Julian's dead. I heal up a bunch, do a lot of damage, and then it's pretty much over. Because Zion basically does no damage. He just debuffs and dispels. And so yeah, Zion dies here. Procs my Holy Aegis, but I don't really care. And Styx dies, runs away. Honestly, I could have played that a lot better. But as you can kind of tell, I'm just playing poorly in general right now. So yeah, expect more of that. So here I'm against SCL, which is kind of annoying because I'm facing basically the same boxes, but in just kind of annoying different variations. Though I am seeing a lot of SP Matthews, which is fun. But I'm throwing in Elma, and I'm throwing in Neo Virash, and I'm throwing in Landius, and I'm having a fun time. Though I'm totally gonna give him the boot once I get what's her name, Grunhild. So yeah, I ban out Neo Zerda, he bans out Neo Zerda. I pick up Neo Elma, I think he picks up Neo Elma, he picks up Neo Elma. And then he bans out my Rosenseal, and I pick up, I think I pick up Elma here. Yep, I do. So yeah, I'm kind of actually putting myself in a bad position, I think. Because I'm pretty much picking up my defensive options. He picks up, well, yeah, since I'm picking up a lot of defensive options, I'm kind of locking myself into playing a little bit more defensively. And yeah, he picks up McLean since he knows he can better control me with that. And I'm like, if that's the case, then I'm going to pick up Neo Virash. And just kind of thinking back to it, I honestly probably should have done this pick, but instead of banning out SP Matthew, I should have banned out, what's her name, Ironblood here. Because I think he picks up Ironblood, so I can't get silly pulls on him, which I keep forgetting she has that. Anyways, it doesn't matter too much. So I ban out his, whatever. And then I pick up my Epsilon. He ends out my rest of my DPS and leaves me with Landius and Sissy White. And he picks up Epsilon here. So yeah, very silly mirror match. And then I ban out his healers. And then I pick up Landius, because why not? But in all honesty, I probably should have just picked up Sissy White, because that's Act Again. That's, Act Again, support. Sissy White can survive an assassination, any of these assassins. She has mercenaries. Yeah, honestly, I should have picked up Sissy White here. Because Landius is pretty much just a faction buff for Neo Virash, which I can just give Sissy White a mass attack instead. Or I could give Neo Elma mass attack instead. Anyways, live and learn. Like, as I commentate this, I'm also kind of learning myself. So here, I throw him down Neo Elma, Neo Elma, to gain a little bit of map control. He throws in Epsilon, and then, yeah, he's kind of, moving away so he can set up the guard. Yeah, he can set up the line for what's her name to start immune the. Yeah, he's setting up Iron Blood to essentially do this. So now I can't. All those guys are immune to pull. Well, displacement. So I can literally not displace his entire team. So Neo Virash can't get his silly act again stuff going on. So yeah. So yeah, now he's pretty much like in the position where I can't really do a ton to him. Here I throw down Oath of Flames because my Neo Elma can't survive a hit from this guy. And then I think he's trying to get some silly debuffs on my team so he can just go in and attack him. But I luckily had the foresight to throw Light Mirror on Neo Virash, so he retains his stuff. And then I throw in Landius here, because what else is Landius gonna do? So yeah, he throws in his team there and takes off Landius' first life, because Landius can't take hits for, well, melee hits for any, like, can't take melee hits at all. Because he has, like, 0, damage reduction for that. So here, I actually phase pull her because the first part of this actually inflicts slow. So I can actually go in and smack. Yeah, I can go in and get a free attack on his team. And he kills off my Landius, which I really don't care about, to be honest. And then it allows me to actually go in and actually one-shot this Wedum, surprisingly. Like, Neo Virash actually did a ton of damage. And that's probably because he has, like, Landius buff. Yeah, he has Landius buff, which gives him an extra 50% damage. Enemy is also, the Wedum is also in water, so my water units do extra damage to him. So, honestly, I don't think the Neo Virash should actually be able to do this, like, in any other situation. So yeah, Moonwife's Wave, and he uses Hadoken, and takes out the Wedum pretty cleanly. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, so that's a very dead Wedum, and then he uses Lord of the Storm to get his assassination skill back up. But actually, since the mirror is still up, he's taking damage, and then and she actually Ironblood actually takes a lot of damage, like, to counterattack, and she gets her own debuff on her, so her soldiers will basically not be healing at all. So yeah, it's very interesting. And here I'm like, I might as well break the Epsilon shield because I can, and that's actually kind of a fun difference between my Epsilon and his Epsilon, in that my Epsilon has 2 offensive skills, while he has only 1. So he's actually very limited by that. And then Neo Elma tries to do some damage to my Neo Virash, but doesn't do a ton. Takes some counterattack damage and takes a lot of fixed damage there. And then my Neo Virash just dies to a normal attack here. But honestly, let me think. Yeah, because here I can just get an easy kill on his Epsilon, but that would open me up to getting hit by Neo Elma right here, breaking the shield, and then so yeah, I have quite a dilemma here, because I can kill off the Epsilon here, but that would put me in range of pretty much his entire team. So yeah, I'd only have, like, a chance to take one hit with this shield, and then Epsilon pretty much die, unless I actually hit the McLean here, because he doesn't have a revive anymore because he's no longer in water. So I just go and pick him up, and now SCL pretty much can't kill my Epsilon very easily now. So yeah, I got the refresh on that. His Epsilon heals, gets the shield, but unlike his Epsilon, I have 2 offensive skills, so I have a lot more flexibility in how I can deal with him. But honestly, yeah, honestly, I probably should have kept just Elma. Actually, yeah, because Epsilon would have had to move here to actually get that. But I could have closed them off right here. Closed them off if I got another move. So yeah, this is a tricky situation for SCL because SCL could actually just go in, kill my Elma if he throws Epsilon here. But the thing is, that option gets closed out if I get another move, because once that happens, I'm just gonna move Neo Elma right there and body block the Epsilon. So here he doesn't have a ton of options. So he actually goes in to take one of the center tiles from me, which allows me to take a center tile from him and block off the Neo, protect my Neo Elma. And I kind of anticipated that, so that's why I moved her back here, but this is kind of going to bite me in the ass in a second. So here he goes in and pops my Epsilon's shield, which I don't mind. So here he's trying to just get tanked up, so I can't just go in and one-shot his Iron Blood here, but the thing is, my Epsilon still needs to well, he has no offensive skill, so I can't actually go in and kill her. So it's a perfect time for me to just reapply my faction buff here, which I do. Because if my Elma dies, I get a heal back and I get a shield. Also, yeah. And this was also kind of a difficult decision for me. Because essentially I wanted to grab another center tile, so I'm not like completely boned when time starts to run low. And that also kind of leaves my Elma in a bind because she can't get in due to the water, and yeah, and if I try to get too close, these two will just come in and kill her off, which I'm actually kind of fine with at this point. So here I'm just healing up my Epsilon so he can just go in and start killing stuff. And yeah, my Elma pretty much dies here, which I'm fine with. Yeah, so pretty much I'm actually kind of stuck here. And due to the Iron Blood debuff reflecting back onto her, she's basically getting 0 healing for her troops, so this is just an easy pickup for my Epsilon, even though my Epsilon would just dunk her anyways, because he has like 2k attack. So yeah, I get to assassinate his... Yeah, I get to assassinate his Iron Blood, and then pretty much I am in the lead right here, so I actually don't need to do anything. I just need a CL to make a mistake. And I think he kind of realizes this at this point. So yeah, he goes in, hits my Neo Elma for quite a bit. She takes a lot of damage, and then he tries to finish her off with his Neo Elma, but Neo Elma just has 0 offensive potential, and my Neo Elma is very bulky as well. So pretty much we're at a stalemate where he has to attack me, but I don't really need to attack him because this Shadow of the Alhazard is pretty much free for me to just kill and get a bunch of extra damage points. And since my Neo Elma is taking a lot of damage, I'm kind of just waiting for him to pop the revive so I can use Discipline and just get a bunch of healing back. But also, this Epsilon really can't do much because if he attacks, Neo Elma will break his shield and allow my Epsilon to just kill him. So yeah, SCL is kind of in a bind right here. So yeah, I'm just pretty much waiting here. And this is actually a really, really bad move, to be honest. Like, I have no idea why I'm moving my Epsilon around, because what else EL could do is just move right here, and then my Epsilon would be forced to stand right there, and then his Neo Elma could just pop his bubble, and then his Epsilon could just pick me up. So yeah, this is a humongous mistake on my part. So here I was kind of panicking, and I wanted to try to get some extra DPS in. And yeah, that was actually a pretty big mistake. If I really wanted to do that, I should have just killed the Shadow of the Alhazard, moved back 1, and then popped his Epsilon shield. with my 1C, because then his Epsilon, yeah, my Epsilon and his Epsilon would pretty much have the same cooldown on our 3Cs if I broke that, killed off the Shadow of the Alphazard. So here I just faction buff again, and then we're pretty much just standing still. Yeah. And yeah, his Neo Elma is just trying to pop that first life on my Neo Elma, but it's just not working out. And then he just gets desperate, tries to pop Neo Elma's life, and then yeah, he loses his shield, and that's just an easy pickup for me. So there, I just kill off his Epsilon, easy peasy, and I win pretty much. Because now I have a bunch more damage on SCL, and he has 0 damage left, and he pretty much has no real healing capabilities left. So yeah, very good match by SCL. We both made a lot of mistakes, but I think he played a lot better than I did. Anyways, I think this SCL match was probably the best, and just reviewing all these matches shows kind of how much of a goof I am and how much my box like kind of is not good at the moment. But hey, it has a lot of interesting gimmicks to it, which tripped up a couple players here. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this, let me know and leave a like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah, whatever all that jazz is. And yeah, I'll see you next video. And yeah, have a good one. Bye bye.